Well, I'm going to let you know as soon as that eyeball pops up. It just popped up, Jeff. The eyeball's up on the screen. We don't have any watchers yet, so people who watch the show later will hear me rambling on. The best place to watch these shows in reruns is on YouTube. So go over to our YouTube channel, which is Glocker Realty and Insurance on YouTube, if you want to see past episodes. It's just an easier platform to search the old episodes.
Super easy.
Yep. And watch a couple of our listing videos while you're over there. We're doing great work.
Cool.
That's what I have to say.
All right. So today is Wednesday, which is Cast At Glocker Day. And we have Chris Dietz on. He is a local musician. He also owns CD's Place Catering and Eatery. So we're going to talk with him. He's going to play us some music. So stick around, check it out. Stay tuned to watch more with Chris Dietz.
This is the Cast at Glocker. And we're back live
with Chris Dietz.
Ta-da.
Hey!
There he is.
All right. So welcome, Chris.
Thank you.
To the Cast At Glocker.
I appreciate it. Absolutely. It's good to be
And
here.
I guess let's get started with your business.
Okay.
So CD's Place Catering and Eatery.
Mm-hmm.
When did it start? How did it start? You could start way back when you were a kid if you wanted to.
I was a wee lad, and I had worked for 15 years at the post office and was unhappy. And through that time, I learned to cook just from watching TV shows. Cooking channel was a guy with a flat top, and he was cooking. It wasn't.
It's not all flashy like it is now,
it was,
right?
He's like, "Here's what we're gonna make today," and it was a guy with the camera straight on.
And they told you all the ingredients.
Yeah, and I'd watch that, and I was home early because I sorted mail, so I was done by 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I'd watch TV, make dinner, get the kids off the bus, and that led into me wanting to cook. And a woman I worked with actually had a place for sale up in Adamstown. We were just talking about stouts. It's up that way, and it was just Sundays. It was a breakfast lunch, so I could keep my day job, see if I liked it, loved it. Started looking for a place, found the Cup here in town, and that was.
So when you bought the Cup, it was the Cup at the time.
It was Mike's Corner Cup, I think, was the official name of it. Mike Hartman had it, the judge, and he's retired now. But yeah, and that was in 2003. I bought my first place in 2000, sold that, and opened down here in 2003. So we're 20 years in.
Awesome. So I guess fast forward to more recently, I guess, you were open from 2003 to let's say COVID. Right? Okay.
I was open till COVID. Yes.
Yeah.
But even through that, I catered the last 10 years or so. I've catered, has grown a lot.
Were you catering right from the very start of it?
So no, but within 7 to 10 years in, I started doing some jobs, and that kind of just word of mouth snowballed. So it was often times where I'd be closed weekends because I had a wedding or I had something on a Sunday or a Friday night. So I kind of worked the hours in with catering, and I'd be closed when I had to, kind of a thing, because I couldn't do both. The kitchen's, a quarter the size of this room. And
so you were the chef.
I do it. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Yeah. That's all I've done is cook there. And, now I do it all. But then COVID hit, which was a great reset. And, when things started opening up, the phone just started ringing for catering, and that's what I've been doing for the last 3 years or so, is just catering.
So do you have any intention on in reopening it?
It's a $10,000 question.
And it's probably worth a lot more than $10,000.
If I have
right?
to reopen, I will. If the phone stops ringing and the catering stops rolling in, I'll reopen. At this point, there's no plan on that.
So you kind of prefer sticking to just the catering?
Well, it gives me a little time to do this instead of being at the grill. You know what I mean? Or play guitar. We talked about that. That's become much more in the forefront because, I was working 14, 16-hour days on 4 hours sleep most days. And it doesn't give you time to do much else.
Yeah.
So that, once I had to shut that, boom, you can't do anything. It was time to reassess. And that changed a lot in my world. It was good.
Yeah, it's got to be hard. No, like just think like I worked in the restaurant industry for years when I was a kid. Like I think of like millions of Americans, right? Mm-hmm. And then through college. And I just think about like the long hours and stuff. I'm the one restaurant that I worked at, it was not uncommon for us to work 65, 70 hours a week.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the whole restaurant business in general. Yeah.
Right. And
nothing,
that was just restaurant.
Right.
We weren't catering.
Right.
I mean, the one restaurant that I did work at had a catering side to it, but they had their own kitchen,
staff, kitchen, everything. Yeah.
Everything. I didn't have to worry about anything to do with the catering, right? Every now and then we'd get some order that they couldn't handle in their commercial kitchen. They were off in some business park someplace. Right. Every now and then I would get an order that they couldn't handle. But we were two separate entities, and I was still working 65 or 70. Yeah. I couldn't imagine what he was doing both at the same time.
And in hindsight, people say, "How do you?" I'm like, I don't know. I just do. You
just did it.
Too dumb to fall over. You just keep going. But in hindsight, well, just this past weekend, I had 2 jobs on Sunday, and I had to get up at 4:30 and 4 hours sleep. The last job went out at 3:00 in the afternoon, so it was almost 12 hours. But till I got it going, it was just run. And I'm like, how did I do this every day for years and years?
Do you still make all the food out of the cup?
Yeah. Yep.
It's still not a big kitchen. Like you're saying.
It's tiny. And I actually coming into and I'm not bragging at all, but coming into my 20th anniversary, I've kept notes over the years of jobs because people call me. Remember you did 2 Christmases ago? We went the same menu, and I started adding up how many meals I've catered, and it was just shy of 54,000, which freaking
wow.
Yeah.
It blew my mind. I thought like 8, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
54,000 meals that I cooked, that's nuts.
Yeah.
Out of that little kitchen. And, we did it. I don't know if you guys have ever my little mini wraps that I make. I've made 60,000 of those. And that's why I'm hunched over and my hands are arthritic and but it's just the number you start adding, like, holy cow. And you don't realize it when you're doing it. That was eye-opening to me that we did something there.
So what's the general menu?
The typical go-to that a lot of people will get is my pulled roast beef and herb grilled chicken that I do in a lemon and white wine gravy, and some sort of either parm roasted potatoes or mashed potatoes, or scalloped potatoes, and green beans. That's like the go-to, and a salad. That's like, well, give me, but I don't have a set. You get 2 meats with starch. It's like if you want all appetizers, if you just want 2 pans of roast beef for a tray, you know what I mean? It's not like you got a set thing,
right?
And I try to be very flexible with what I can supply to people, and it seems to work.
Does that make it more interesting for you? I mean, at some point in time, you get a little bored just cranking out the same stuff.
Well, it's always something different. So I can't say that I've gotten bored. There's things I don't care to do as much.
Right. Yeah.
But you offer it, you do it, and But the other thing, people come to me like, oh, I had this dish, blah blah blah. Can you do that? And I'm like, yeah, I'll try. Or we wanted this. We're doing a themed,
That's what
Great Gatsby theme. What do you have from? So you look on your phone, you go back to what, that era, what did they eat? And you try and assimilate, you kind of work with people.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you, if you still change up your menu and
yeah, I add things, but again, it lets people pick what they want, and it keeps it interesting for me. And I mean, I'll say there's never a dull moment. We'll say it that way. But no, it's good.
So do you have a staff to help you with the catering or anything?
If I have like a wedding or something, I'll often wrangle my kids and my wife.
That's what they're there for anyway,
to their
right?
chagrin. Why do you give me such a short notice? You know that.
Yeah.
But no, I used to have, obviously when I had the restaurant, I had a staff of 5, but now it's, I cook, clean, shop. I have one girl that I have come in and do dishes, clean up after me. I pay her well to keep my mess at a minimum. But no, as far as cooking and prep, I do it all. And I like it.
Yeah.
You just sit, put the stereo on and have a beer. You just put your head down and it's nice. If you want to take a break and, play guitar or just sit outside for a minute, the phone's not ringing off the hook. There's not people coming in and out of the door all the time.
Yeah.
They're not, it's nice.
Yeah. I mean, when you were open, your restaurant definitely reflected your personality. I mean, you got the tats up the arms and everything. It's all rock and roll in there.
It's music has always been a big part of what I do. And, deciding to go the music theme down there, the countertop is my album collection. My daughter, for her senior high school project, painted the mural under the cup that's there with all the musicians' faces. She'd leave school at noon and come down and work, and the teacher'd come check on her once in a while. She'd paint till 2:00 and then, or whatever time school be over. And that was her senior art project.
That's cool.
And it's, still there. It's cool.
Yeah.
So, I have guitars hanging up and just stuff. It's like my mini thing. I don't know.
So which came first, the music or the food?
Music.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I started playing guitar when I was 15, 14. But I always was a fan of music. Mm-hmm. And, playing guitar was just an extension of I can do that kind of a thing. And that's,
What were your influences as a child?
Let's see, that would have been mid-70s, was Alice Cooper, early Aerosmith, Elton John, Ted Nugent, which has gone south.
That guy. He's a little off the rails.
Yeah, but
threatening assassinations and all kinds of crazy
Free for All was really good to jump around your bedroom with a tennis racket and play air guitar. Stranglehold,
Yes, Stranglehold's got some great riffs. Classic stuff.
I still play that with my band. We dug that one up out of the graveyard. And, but those were my early Led Zeppelin, of course, Stones. But that early rock was my main influence. David Bowie, all that stuff that I grew up with in the early to mid 70s, which was a great era. You guys are real young, so you don't.
No, I mean, even though we are younger than that, I mean, you listen to all that.
Yeah. No, there isn't a single band that I couldn't name you at least one song.
Right.
You just mentioned.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
And I grew up.
I mean, I listened to classic rock was probably one of my favorite music growing up as a kid.
Yeah. So
and modern rock.
Modern and classic. Like I know in the summertime I'm from Pottstown, but I worked at the pool. And the classic rock station was literally the only thing that we could put on, because if we put on the pop stuff or the hip hop stuff, the kids would just go wild. We couldn't control them.
They're nuts.
They thought, they would. They
That's
would.
what rock did to the kids.
Right. But if we put the classic rock channel on, they all thought that was boring. But for us older, the lifeguards, we were a little bit older, we could at least find it palatable. You know what I mean? So I just grew up in my teenage years just listening to just tons and tons of classic rock.
Yeah.
And then, when I wasn't at work, then I'd listen to the hip hop and the jazz and blues and all that other stuff. But there's not a band that he just mentioned that I don't know a couple of songs to.
Yeah, the crazy thing is they call that oldies now.
Yeah, it's nuts. It's like
they call
you hear Robin Trower at Redner's. That just blows my mind.
They call 80s and 90s
weird.
Getting close to
oldies.
I think
you realize that Pearl Jam 10 came out 30 years ago.
Yeah.
So even Pearl Jam is
it's oldies. You think about, all right, when I was a kid, say 72. Oldies were 50s. So it's only 20 years.
Yeah, it's only 20 years.
Yeah. Right. I mean, Limp Bizkit, oldies. I don't.
Classic rock. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know where. Yeah, it. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, 76 when I was in 8th grade, maybe. Like Rush 2112, Boston's first album, Born to Run, Jailbreak, 2112. Like it was a stretch of like really good music came out those couple of years.
Born to Run is such a classic rock and roll song, man. And
it is.
Bruce, I came to appreciate Bruce later in life.
I did too.
But Born to Run's a great album. And
I'm not a huge fan, but it's a
songs.
Masterpiece. I mean, I'm not a huge Springsteen guy, but the early stuff definitely is good. But
I used to not really like Springsteen at all, but then I do now a lot. Yeah.
Let's give some shout outs, and then we do have some people watching. So I just want to bring people up to speed with what's going on. Maybe
after you do this, maybe we'll listen to a song.
All right. So I want to give some shout outs. Gypsy Chris is watching. Thanks for tuning in, Gypsy Chris. Gypsy Chris is Chris Golden. She's one of our newest real estate agents up here, and she's on the Matt Green team. She's my new partner and associate. We've started.
And she's really not a gypsy.
She
does travel a lot, though.
She has some gypsy tendencies.
Oh, boy.
Matt Garinger.
And the good parts of the gypsy.
Not she's not putting any spells on me. None that I know of. Matt Garinger is saying he loves your place and you make great food. Keep up the good work. Michelle Lynn is saying hi, Chris.
Oh, hey, how you doing?
Thane Yoder, pulled roast beef is fantastic.
There you go. How you doing, Thane?
And then Jeff Osborne is saying hello, Chris Dietz.
Hello, Mr. Osborne.
Ozzy.
He's my favorite brother-in-law.
Okay. All right. He's brother-in-law. Yeah. That's good. We like brothers-in-laws. We like moms. We like friends. That being said, make sure you hit that like button. If you want to help Chris get the word out about what he's doing over at CD's place or with his band or with his personal music, hit that share button. That's going to share this live stream out to your news feed. More people that see it, the more people will know what's going on, and they'll learn about all the great stuff that's going down in Boyertown.
Do it.
We started this podcast in order to support local businesses.
That's awesome.
Yeah. The more money you spend locally, the more money stays local. 80% of the dollar that you spend, if you spend it at a local shop, stays local. So we're trying to get people to patronize the businesses in their backyards. So
and being a musician as well is still a small business. I mean,
absolutely. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, come out to see a live band, and there's people are starting to support live music again. You see more and more of it.
Yeah.
But you come out, so you're spending money at the venue, whether it be a restaurant or a bar, or even a concert venue or whatever. But you're supporting that whole situation. It's a win-win. It's a win for the musician. It's a win for the venue. And, it's a great thing.
I did put the contact information for Chris Dietz for CD's place up on the screen. I'm getting ready to drop a link to his personal website into the chat. And then I think Jeff wants Chris to play a song.
Yep, he'll play a song and we'll get more into his music because there's a lot more to the story. We were talking to him beforehand. Yeah. And so
I got stories.
So as Chris is getting his guitar and getting ready to set up, it gives you the perfect opportunity to hit that share button or to send us a comment, even if you just want to say hello or let us know that you're watching. It helps the analytic.
And if you love what you're hearing, push that love icon or whatever you want to call it.
Hit him.
Yeah, hit him. Rapid fire. Bam, 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 bam. Yeah. You can't give too many hearts. There's no such thing.
We all need a little more heart, don't we?
A little more love.
Yeah. Amen to that. I don't usually play with. This is like the guy that golfs with the crowd on both sides of the fairway. I don't usually play with someone sitting right next to me.
Yeah, you don't have to look into our eyes or anything, Chris.
I'll stare longingly into your eyes and
I'll sip my beer.
There you go.
Judy Green is tuned in tonight.
Oh, right. I was just talking about you, Mrs. Green.
If you go to the State Theater, if you go to Reading Avenue,
and
you go past the State Theater, towards the train tracks.
You're giving directions.
CD's place is on the left-hand side, right before you go underneath the train
But
tracks.
don't go knocking on his door because he's not going to open.
And knock on the back door. I'm usually there.
Yeah.
I'm still there all the time, even though I'm not open. I'm there every day. Doing
The
something.
restaurant's
Yeah.
not open to the public. He just is doing catering because one, he got too busy,
Mhm.
and two, COVID taught him that he needed to spend some more
And
time.
it got old.
It got old.
He got old.
He got old.
Well, that happens to all of us.
That's young man's work. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah,
You know,
no,
right?
it is.
We talked about it.
It's
You
a
know
hustle.
that, yeah.
I wouldn't listen. I'm 49, and I was doing that stuff from
Yeah.
15 to 25.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to go back to 70 hours in
no.
the kitchen. No.
And when I turned 60, that was the realization. I'm like, holy cow! And then it's time to
Trying to mellow out.
yeah, just kind of do what I need to do. And
There's nothing wrong with having a little extra free time to yourself. That's for sure,
Life's
Chris.
too short. If nothing else, life is too short.
Yep, absolutely.
You know.
All right.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna
What-
mute.
Do you
our
want to tell us
mics.
what you're going to play, or are you just going to rip into it?
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna do Landslide actually.
Nice.
There you go.
Took my love, I took it down. I climbed the mountain and I turned around. And I saw my reflection in the snow-covered hills. And then a landslide brought me down. Mirror in the sky, what is love? Can a child within my heart rise above? Can I sail through the changing ocean tides? Can I handle the seasons of my life? I don't know. I don't know. Oh, I've been afraid of changing, 'cause I built my life around you. But time makes you bolder, even children get older. I'm getting older too. Yeah, I'm getting older too. Oh, I've been afraid of changing, 'cause I built my life around you. But time makes you bolder, even children get older. I'm getting older too. Yeah, I'm getting older too. So take my love, take it down. If you climb a mountain and you turn around, and you see my reflection in the snow-covered hills, let a landslide bring you down. And if you see my reflection in the snow-covered hills, let a landslide bring you down. The landslide bring you down.
All right.
Nice, dude. You knocked that one out of the park.
Yeah, dude,
man.
that was. I mean, that's a great choice of song.
Yeah.
And that song always gives me chills when I hear it, and it gave me chills with you. So you did a great job.
Good job, man.
I dig singing now, and I don't know why.
It's a good song,
I was
man.
introduced to that song when Smashing Pumpkins did it.
It's
and I was still young then, and I felt it then,
Yeah.
and but the part where even children get older and
it's
older
a thing.
too.
Yeah, right.
And now
It's
you have kids.
Yeah. It's all
Absolutely.
it's all crazy, man.
Yeah.
But,
Stellar
but
House
yeah, so
gift.
I didn't hear Fleetwood Mac do it, and I was like, that's beautiful too.
Yeah, right.
It's like great. Yeah,
Stevie Nicks has a great voice for that song. So does Chris Dietz.
absolutely.
So
So if you
Stellar
wanna
House
see-
Gift Shop is saying hello, and
cool.
you just did her favorite song.
Oh, that's
There
awesome.
you go.
But if you want to see Chris Dietz play, you can watch him tomorrow night at the Union Jack's Old Congo Hotel in Bartow, Pennsylvania.
Yep, I'll be there from 6 to 9. I think inside. I don't think it's going to be warm enough for me to be outside on the deck.
Unfortunately, it's not gonna be bad tomorrow,
But till 9 o'clock.
yeah, it's gonna get a little
I
chilly.
need a space heater to keep
Right.
my old limbs nimble.
I'm
But
just looking for a
forward
link
to playing
for that.
out there.
I got a
Tony and
link. I got a link for the Congo Hotel. I'm going to put that up in the chat so that people after the show can go check out their link to Union Jacks at the Congo Hotel.
It's great food, great people. I've known Joni for a while. We're business, being a restaurant, catered with her. We've done stuff, and it's just like I said, anywhere that supports live music, it all works together, and
Have you ever played it again at the
Are
Manitoba?
our mics back on? Just
Yeah,
want to
they
make
are.
sure.
They
Yeah.
are. Have you ever?
Should I move in?
Yeah,
back
yeah, move in
All
again, if you don't mind.
In at Manitoba. No, I have never played there.
Okay,
No.
that's a good spot.
Yeah, they
for
need
live
to have
music,
you.
too.
Well, honestly, I've just started getting into this solo thing since COVID. Like we talked about me being shut down.
So you never did the solo acoustic thing
I've been
before?
in bands forever, but I never ever would consider sitting in front of a bunch of people with a guitar playing songs by myself. That wasn't even a thing. And when I was shut down, and I'm sure people watching have seen this, but I had to get out of the house. As long and short of it. My granddaughter was living with us. She's homeschooled. My daughters were there. Wife's working from home in the dining room. Like nobody can make noise. All hell's breaking loose. You got to, I'm going down to the restaurant. And I'd sit down there and play guitar and have a beverage. And one day I'm like, let me put this on Facebook. It was Sitting in Limbo. It was a song I did, which was really fitting for
Jimmy Cliff song?
Yeah. For COVID, because no one knew what was going on.
It
was very early on. And, people be like, that was awesome. What are you going to play tomorrow? And it became a thing. And I ended up, 50 songs or something. I recorded on Facebook and I'd put it out every day. And can you do, it was when John Prine passed. Can you do a couple John Prine songs?
Oh, yeah, dude.
Like that. And it was cool. And that gave me the courage or whatever to do this. And now, that's cool. I'm having fun. And I'm very thankful that people like what I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, so you were performing in front of people. It's just that your band was, and I don't mean this in a bad way. I just can't think of a better word to use. But your band was like a crutch.
Absolutely.
So,
Save my head.
So
they carried me for crying out loud. Yeah.
So it was just that step forward. Just just that all eyes were on you at that point. And
well, if I'm in the band and I blow a solo or miss a note or
it's kind of meshes in with it all. Right?
If I have to stop a song in the middle and start over, that's pretty obvious. That's happened. I don't like that. It's happened, and
I've done it before.
No, but it was a big step for me, honestly, and I've embraced it. So I'm having fun. That's again what it's about. Is I'm never going to be the next big singer songwriter or rock star. I gave up those aspirations.
Yeah, but you're
many years ago.
representing yourself and the music you love.
But I'm not. It's just
and you're making people happy.
That's what it comes down to. That's what even the restaurant, any of that, it comes down to people. I've said forever that City's place is bigger than eggs and hamburgers. It's community. It's about people that come in, the friends we've made. And music is just an extension of that. I had such great customers down there and that's what I miss, honestly. Just the people, So to make people happy with that is the same as My gravy and biscuits and gravy made people happy. My unduly baked corn hash made people very happy. Or my, jerk chicken.
And the schedule's a little bit more manageable, right?
Yeah, I get to live a little. Yeah.
And everybody watching, he can still make you happy that way too, because he has the catering business. So
I have friends that'll reach out like, I'm overdue for some jerk chicken. I need 2 pounds this weekend or whatever, and I'm like, I'm making a whole pile. So just, hit me up and I'll. So yeah, there's ways to do things, even though I'm not there. If you ask nice, you
can accommodate.
Anybody that's a regular there knows I will accommodate. That's what I do. So yeah, by all means.
Let's get into the band a little bit, because in addition to doing the solo gig, you're in a band, and I think that's a pretty neat story too. So why don't you kind of start at the top a little bit? You have plenty of time, and
good.
Tell us about how the band that you're in came to be.
Well, Todd Marcheski is the other guitar player of my band, and he and I worked at Kmart together in Pottstown back in the late 70s. And I had just started playing guitar. He had been playing a short while. We used to jam at my mom's house, stranglehold for 45 minutes. It would shake the teacups off the thing, it was very loud. And we did a little outside thing at my neighbor's house, and the guy shows up with drums in his car. He said, I could hear you down the road and it didn't sound like you had a drummer. You mind if I set up? So he played with us and we did a few more songs, and that's Jim Chance, and he's been our drummer since. And then Tim Hums is our bass player, and Todd knew him from, I guess, elementary school even, and brought him on board, and that became Rocks in the late 70s. And we played together as that four played together probably into 80, 81. And everybody kind of started going their separate ways.
How old were you around that time?
When we first got together, I was 15. I didn't have my driver's license yet.
And so where were you playing at? Were you playing like parties or?
Yeah, we'd have like house parties and just, we could play. When we did all originals at that point, we weren't like even good enough to do covers, but we could write, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't sound like anything I know, but it sounds good because you got, so we did like originals and stuff. And that, like I said, lasted a couple years, and then the lineup changed a little bit, and then eventually we all kind of went our separate ways, but stayed in touch. Todd and I would go to concerts. The guys would all come in for breakfast at various times or lunch, or I'd see people here or there. But one day about 5 years ago, it was around Christmas, my daughter said, I think your buddy from the band's here. It was breakfast at the restaurant. And I poked my head out, and it was the other 3 guys. And that's the first we had sat together in the same room in 40 years.
As the
4 original guys in 40 years that we'd all sat together at a table. And, it was kind of like, hey, I got my drums set up in the garage. I got a case of beer. Bring your stuff over. We'll make a bunch of racket and have some fun. Like old guys relive their past too. And, we're getting the band back together. But no, we started playing and we all looked at each other like, what the hell? It sounded like good. Like we just picked up where we left off. It was so weird. And
now, had all of those guys been keeping up with their respective music in one way, shape, or form?
Mostly. I know Tim, our bass player, played in some country bands, a lot of other bands. He founded a couple bands. Jim and Todd played together in a band with another couple of guys. But I think Jim had not drummed for a few years. Todd, maybe a couple years, didn't play guitar, but kind of got things back to I've always played. So there's always a guitar wherever I am.
Right.
Next to me. But so then we started, let's get together next week. Well, we should do, and then it got to be, we're getting old. We should do something and record it somewhere, video or do something. So we rented Chaplin's down in Spring City, it's a little music room. And we videotaped, and all our friends, we sold it. It was right before COVID, actually. We had this big reunion gig. We sold it. It was 150 people or whatever. Sold it out. COVID hits. We had our rehearsal for that. It was awesome. The next week was supposed to be the gig, and they shut everything down. So that lasted then for quite a while till we could all get even in a room. So we ended up doing 2 nights with half capacity with masks and the whole nonsense.
Yeah.
And we had this, for posterity, whatever, we had recorded this thing, but then it was like, we should keep going. And now we're playing once or twice a month. We're here, there, wherever. But we're having a blast. And we have that the brotherhood from 40 years of knowing even though we weren't together that whole time. You have that history and the personalities and it's awesome. It's really awesome. We're having a really good time. So
they all live local still, right?
Yeah, they're within, Royersford, Pottstown.
Right.
Here, I live in town.
And that's Rocks.
ROX, right?
ROX.
Yeah, and that's the name we came up with when we were teenagers, and Rocks it is.
I put a link up to their Facebook page in the chat so people can find it. And then I also am streaming across the bottom of the page the name of the band, their contact phone number, and a little thing, book a show. So if you want to book a show with Rocks, if you want to come to your bar or your backyard,
outstanding. Thank you.
Do you do backyards?
Give them a call.
Of course,
we do backyards.
Backyards the best.
We're a garage band. We play, you play anywhere. We're in fact this coming Friday. We're at the 28th. Is that Friday? 28th. We're at Temple Fire Company up in Reading from 8:30 to 11:30. It's our first time playing up there, and that is a venue that has bands all the time. People go there, because there's bands there.
Music.
It's not like they have a band tonight. It's like we go there because there's bands there.
Right.
So we're really fortunate to be playing there. We're happy to see what they think of us.
So we heard you play one song at least. Kind of get a gist of where you're coming from. How about the band? Does the band sound different or?
Yeah, we're a pretty aggressive rock or garage band, I'll say. I don't know how to describe it. We're not just a cover band. I don't know how to describe it, but we're doing like Aerosmith, Zeppelin, Stones, Rare Earth. I don't know. I can't think of them all off the top of my head, but it is pretty firm in the mid 70s sort of classic rock.
Yeah.
But we do it the way we don't try and copy. I don't copy solos note for note and figure that it's Rock's doing songs.
You're not a tribute band. You're putting your spin on it.
Yeah, where we just do songs we like and make them our own.
Are you still doing covers at all?
All covers now. Yeah, we don't. Now we have all. We're all covers.
Are you doing any originals? No.
Nope, all covers. Yeah.
You gonna break out one of those originals one of these times?
I don't know. Yeah, we've done one. It was an instrumental that guitar Todd wrote that we've done, but we haven't worked on that in a while. But yeah, it was called Pokey Ran Away. I don't remember him writing it, but it was a 70s song.
So really, if you wanted to do it, if you really wanted to do it the right way and support local music and local business, you would have Chris cater your party.
Yeah,
I've done that.
And then have Rocks play the party.
You've done it?
I've done it twice now.
Have
3
you?
times.
I've
done it 3 times.
That's like an all-in-one shopping.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Yeah. I've done it 3 times.
You're like, I'm having a party, call Chris, and I'll have everything.
Yeah.
Music
just bring the people.
Yeah.
Have you talked to Donnie Ellickson, the Taekwondo Ellickson?
We have not, but
we need to get him in here. Yeah, he's awesome, and he's a great asset to Boyertown. But he has a big like his student Christmas party every year. And last year I catered it. It was like 150 people or something like that. Catered it, and then we played a set or 2 sets acoustic. We do like an acoustic thing as well. We sell the drums, but we run everything through the PA, and it's acoustic instead of blasting out our electrics. And I did a birthday party where I catered out at the Valley Fire Company a couple weeks ago, and they had me cater it, and they're like, I saw you're in a band, can you play? Yeah. So we did, it's cool. We did a big fun. We did a beef and beer fundraiser back last month for Montgomery County SPCA. That was like an old school barn party. We just bought like 15 or 20 cases of beer. We set up. We had 3 bands. We set up in the garage or in the barn. It was $25. We had a fire pit out. We raised $1,700.
Oh, that sounds
for
fun.
the SPCA, and but it was a good old school just. Hanging out party. It was really we had a lot of fun, and we'll absolutely do that again.
That does sound like fun.
So
that's totally like
absolutely catering and music is absolutely something I do. So yeah, we could certainly do that.
Word up.
Yeah, now that's something you don't get everywhere, where the caterer also brings his band in.
Right.
You jam out, while you're
one-stop shopping.
Absolutely, that's the way to do it.
So let's hear another song from you, if you don't mind.
Sure. Yeah.
What do you think you're going to be playing this time?
Let's do Everybody's Talking.
All right.
Everybody's talking at me. Can't hear a word they're saying. Only the echoes of my mind. People stop and staring. I can't see their faces. Only the shadows of their eyes. I'm going where the sun keeps shining through the pouring rain. Going where the weather suits my clothes. Banking off of the northeast wind, sail on summer breeze. Skipping over the ocean like a stone. I'm going where the sun keeps shining through the pouring rain. Going where the weather suits my clothes. Banking off the northeast wind, sail on summer breeze. Skipping over the ocean like a stone. Everybody's talking at me. Can't hear a word they're saying. Only the echoes of my mind. I won't let you leave my love behind. I won't let you leave my love behind.
Nice, dude.
Thank you.
That was really nice.
A really good friend of ours, Joe Moran's watching the show today. He's into live music, bass player, guitar player. Used to watch him play his Tim Armstrong Fender on Facebook Live.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, back in yeah.
I think it was Sublime songs or something like that. Were you doing some Sublime stuff?
Yes, we did. My partner in crime, my main kitchen helper, D, is in the singer in Chestnut Grove. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. Great local band. So her and I would do things after work sometimes, or she'd stop by during COVID. We'd hang out and we would do. She's an amazing singer, great performer. And yeah, we did Rivers of Babylon one day. I remember doing that. Yeah.
She's. I mean, they played Pickfest this past year.
Really
Chestnut Grove.
They're really good.
Chestnut Grove Band. I think I have their Facebook page here. Looks like some younger folks.
I was trying to. I was writing messages.
They're 30 probably.
And she plays guitar.
Yeah,
and she's the lead singer.
Drums, keyboard, guitar.
All right.
Sings.
While you're playing the song,
I'm going to put their link up.
Man.
While you're playing the song, I was writing a message to Matt. I was trying to ask him a question of what movie that's from, and I know it's something Cowboys.
Oh, it's
is it
Urban Cowboys?
Urban Cowboys? Or is it Drugstore
everybody's
Cowboys?
talking.
No, I think it's Urban Cowboy. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
At first I had
Harry
Taxi
Nilsson.
Driver in my head.
Harry Nilsson.
Yeah, that's a great song. That's a cool song.
It is.
I like the rasp in your voice too
Thank
when
you.
you sing. Yeah. Are you the singer of the Rocks?
I sing a few, maybe half a dozen.
So you and your other friend kind of take turns.
Yeah, the drummer probably. Jim sings most.
Oh,
the
really?
Stuff. Todd, the guitar player, sings a fair amount. We all sing. Tim sings 4, 5, 6. And we have background vocals and harmonies. We all do that, whatever. But it's a lot of just yelling. We're not. We do okay. No, we're fine. Yeah, but we all take turns singing. If like Todd has the higher voice for like I don't know things that you need that.
Pretty things.
Yeah, I got this growly blues kind of a thing.
For
The
rugged
other guys
things.
are right. Yeah.
I'll
Save my stuff
categorize
for
it for you.
for the end of the night so I don't blow my voice out too early. You know, it's just fun.
So you can see Chris again at an evening with Chris Dietz at the Congo Hotel in
Whole
Boyertown.
Evening. Yes.
Let me
I like
find
that they call it
evening
I like it.
Sounds
It's,
classy.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think I put the link up for Congo Hotel earlier in the comments, but I'll throw it back up there
do it
again.
up. Yeah.
For the people that are technologically inclined, they can find it and actually follow those links while they're still listening to the show. For other people, I would suggest you just go back after the show and click on the links in the comments.
Yeah, if you don't think you're technologically,
Yeah,
what did you say? What was the word? Technologically.
I've had a couple of beers. Had a couple of beers.
That's all right. We don't judge.
Yeah, not at all.
Yeah.
This is a not a non-judge zone here.
I have some work to do before I drive home, so
Yeah, there you
people
go.
don't get too worried.
Yeah.
I think we should we have to move on to what's going down in Boyertown. And then, but we'll come back. I think Chris will close us out, I think, tonight with that song, if you don't mind.
Yeah, I'll play another one. Sure.
All
yeah.
right.
Yeah, do your thing, you know.
All right.
Yeah.
So let me just change the graphics here a little bit. I'm gonna put this up on the screen. I'm gonna take down some of the tickers that I have going.
Chris, you might not know this, but I do I have a website where people can go to find out what events are happening in Boyertown each week, in and around Boyertown.
Okay.
I want to make it clear it's in and around Boyertown. It's not just, I don't just stick it to Boyertown, stick to where people from Boyertown go.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
But it's called What's Going Down in Boyertown. And you can find that at jeffknowsboyertown.com. I'm Jeff. See how I got that name?
Good.
Yeah. So
He's a deep thinker.
Yeah.
Just look at him. He looks like a deep thinker.
Do you know where I got that name from? Do you want to know where I got that name from, Matt?
Jeff?
No,
Your parents?
From my parents, right? Yeah. No, Jeff knows Boyertown. When Jefferson Hospital had a thing going on, like, commercials going in the, I don't know, maybe it was the 90s, maybe it was the early 2000s.
Jeff knows.
Jeff knows.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was the phone. I think that was the phone number.
Yeah.
It was 1-800-JEFF knows
Jeff
or something.
knows.
Yeah.
All right.
So that stuck in my head because I was like, Jeff knows.
Now you just said that they're going to hit you with a copyright.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you're in trouble now. Yeah. Now
you're
in
being
trouble.
sued. So anyway, you can go there. You can find out what's going on in Boyertown. The best thing to do is subscribe to it, and then it just will show up in your email each week, and you'll know exactly what's happening in Boyertown. Cool. I do my best to find all events. Chris, I had your event down there already.
Thank you.
For Union Jack's Old Congo Hotel. So that's Thursday night. Don't forget that. Check Chris out. I mean, he sounds awesome. So I mean, go out and see him live. He'll play a whole bunch of more songs for you.
I got 3 hours. Now I got 3 hours.
It's a whole evening.
It's a whole lot of Chris.
It's an evening with Chris Dietz.
It's a lot.
So that's Thursday night. Friday. Let me reverse a little bit. I'm
slow down a little bit. You got plenty of time.
I'm getting ahead of myself. This is a taste, just a morsel of what you would find on the actual blog or the website. So Friday, Studio B Art Gallery in Boyertown. They are having their opening reception for The Edible Woman, which is what it is. It is all food-oriented artwork.
Nice.
That I'd say like 10, 15 women have
have
done.
Check that out.
They always have something cool, and they usually have. I guess they show that showing for like a month, usually a month and a half, something like that. They have each thing, and then they change it up.
Yeah, I think it is called an art showing.
Yeah,
I think you're right.
So, so this Friday is the opening for The Edible Woman. Yeah.
And where is that at?
I don't know if it's woman or women.
Women, probably.
Okay. Yeah, probably.
Let's go with that.
Yeah. That is at Studio B Art Gallery in Boyertown. And that's from 5 to 7.
I'm going to put them up in the chat. The chat crashed on my end, but it's everything that I posted still should be up in the comments.
Yeah.
And the chat back up. I reloaded it. It came back up. So don't get upset.
Nobody's getting
We don't
upset
really
about
have
that.
any hardcore chatters tonight anyway, but it's back up for you to use.
Okay.
There you go.
Studio B?
Studio B. Yep. Art Gallery. Yep.
This thing's in my way.
The BMBA is doing their wine walks again, and then their first one for the season is this Friday from 5:30 to 8, and it's called the Superhero Wine Walk. So you can dress as your favorite superhero if you'd like, and then you can visit 10 local businesses where you'll be doing wine tastings, and they usually have like little food items as well. The DJ D Cubed will be doing the music out there. I think he's kind of like off to the side where Peppermint Stick Candy Store is.
Oh yeah, that little
Kubi, whatever you want to call it. And he's also doing some superhero trivia and having some prizes and all that fun stuff. There's even going to be a $50 gift certificate to one of those businesses of your choice that you visited during the wine walk.
I'm sorry.
This is the a wine walk in Boyertown.
Who's hosting that?
BMBA.
Okay.
Yep. And so it's only $15 for 10 wine tastings. I think that's a bargain. And also, it's benefiting the Frederick Living facility.
Yes, it used to be Frederick Mennonite Home.
Yeah.
They took the Mennonite out because people thought that they could only be Mennonite and go there. But which is
my
not
uncle
the case.
is there right now. He likes it. He loves it, actually.
My aunt and uncle went there, and they both loved it there.
Yeah.
And then my mom and dad have some really good friends that live there. I've been there several times to like visit people. It's a great.
Yeah, I honestly have never heard anybody say anything bad about it.
Yeah, her hip there, and yeah, she had great care, and it was a great.
Oh, so they even do rehab there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was a great place for her to be. It was perfect.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And they have a lot of stuff to do.
They have a lot of stuff going on.
Like you can really stay busy. I went there one year because they had these guys that collect trains and do model train. They have a model train club, and they had these model trains set up all over the place there. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. And it was free. You just went up there and walked in, and it was, it was mostly men. So I'm saying guys. I realize that language is sexist.
It's not because you can call girls guys.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
That kind of is a general term.
But it was mostly men.
Yeah.
And they had these beautiful, beautiful trains things set up for the holidays, and people came in, and I was talking to the one guy. There's all kinds of clubs. There's all kinds of activities. So like people kind of have this idea that like some of these retirement communities are places where you're bored, but
right.
Not at there might be some places like that, but certainly not Frederick. Not Frederick.
Yeah,
no.
I agree.
You can live a very active life there. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So that's Friday night. Saturday night. Saturday, the third annual cornhole tournament at Gablesville Athletic Association is going on. It starts at 10 a.m. and there's cash prizes. There's a free lunch to the people registered to play, and there's giveaways, all sorts of stuff happening during the whole time. So that sounds like fun because I love cornhole. It's a fun game to play. The Alumni Marching Unit is having their annual spring concert in Boyertown area Junior High West
I saw that.
This
saw
Saturday
flyers and posters up for that.
Yeah. I'm sponsoring it.
Are you?
I'm a sponsor. I'm not sponsoring
I got you.
it. I am a sponsor for
Picture of
it.
his face.
Yeah.
On the stage.
Thank you, Jack. You've done so much for us.
One day.
Someday.
Yeah, you just need a couple more listings, and
then I'll be sponsoring.
This is why you support local business, and I'm. This is half joke, but mostly serious.
Right.
The more you support local businessmen, the more they'll sponsor your stuff.
Absolutely.
So you call Jeff for more listings. He's going to pump some of that money back into your community.
It's a full circle.
There you go.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So yeah, check that out. That's always fun. The Alumni Marching Unit.
Listen, hold on, dude. It's the beers, man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, because I have not been having some beers lately, but tonight's show I've had some beers.
Yeah.
And the words just aren't coming.
They're not flowing today, right?
No, but the beers are.
That's the problem. We've figured that out. Sunday. There's a Bloody Mary brunch train at the Colbrookdale Railroad.
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds. I had to announce it because it was.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
You ride a train, you're drinking Bloody Marys. I mean, and Sunday, that's the perfect day for a Bloody Mary.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's at 10:30. That train ride. And Chris, you're welcome to talk anytime
I'm
during
good.
this.
I'm
Okay.
just soaking it all in.
All right. And I also want to mention that next week we will be speaking. We will be at the Colbrookdale Railroad
Okay.
speaking to someone of importance there.
Okay. Yet to be determined.
Yeah, about all that's
TBD.
going on at the
Nice.
Colbrookdale Railroad.
Okay.
Yeah,
There's a lot going on there.
Next
Absolutely.
Wednesday, check us out and check them out. Tuesday, I want to mention this because I on my Facebook page I'm doing weekly giveaways.
Yeah, you've been giving away some nice stuff.
Yeah,
dude.
and this week I'm giving away, I think, one of the coolest. No offense to the other businesses, but this just happens to be one of the coolest prizes yet. I think the Ironstone is offering a dinner for two with, and their chef is going to actually contact the winners, and he's going to make a meal to their desire.
Yeah, it's a custom
nice.
three-course meal.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's
Cool.
pretty cool. I mean, you
No,
can't
That's
buy
very
that.
cool. No, that's
You cannot
awesome.
buy that.
You cannot buy it
You can only
for now,
win it.
though. From inside Birdie told me that maybe this might
Be something.
be
they do.
something in the future you could actually buy, but
No, that's the thing.
But right
too.
now-
a custom made me. For your.
But
Absolutely.
so let's talk about that for a second, though.
Sure.
So if there's other businesses that are listening to what you're doing, is you go and contact these businesses and they decide what they want to give away with
Correct.
you, right?
Yeah.
So if you want to make your giveaway as interesting as possible, it's up to the business.
yes,
You're not dictating
No.
to them what they
Mm-mm.
give away. You're working with them.
yeah, it's a cross promotion.
And so Ironstone has just been the most creative thus far.
That's all,
Right?
yeah.
That's
but it's-
super cool. Honestly, that's a really cool
It-
idea.
it is.
You know,
I mean, when they came to me with this idea, I was like, I love it. That's
Sure.
great. So anyway,
Good on
hey,
them.
first of all, if you
good
want
on
to,
them.
if you want to enter to win this, I will be drawing the winner this Friday. So go to Jeff Frederick with Glocker Realty on Facebook, and you'll see the post. All you have to do is like and share it. That's all you have to do to enter. You don't have to do anything else. Just like and share. That's it. Anyway, but I wanted to give them a shout out because they're Tuesday nights. They have oyster night. I don't know if you guys are oyster people.
Not so much.
Yeah. And that's okay.
I've tried. I lived in Maryland, and
Uh-huh.
I lived in Baltimore, and it was huge down there.
Yeah.
And I've had different people walk me through it. And you got to do this, and you got to do that. You got to get this oyster and that oyster. It's not so much a flavor thing for me; it's a consistency thing.
You don't like the slimy.
Texture.
It's the texture,
Yeah.
dude. Now, give me a good fried oyster or like some oyster stew. I've had oyster stuffing, no problem with them.
Yeah.
But
You just
those-
don't like the raw.
Yeah, dude. It's like swallowing a big loogie.
You
And
make
then
it
I
sound
think
so
about
tasty.
it, and then I
Yeah.
gag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yikes. Yeah. No.
I'll be honest with you. I've had oysters, and I was kind of had that thought in my head. But
Mhm.
I've had oysters that I'm like, this is really good. I don't know why. Maybe it's the salt level. I don't know. Maybe it was what I topped it
Well,
with.
there's so many.
I don't know.
variety. I don't know.
And there's
anything about it,
varieties,
but there's
yeah.
a lot of varieties. I know.
And they announced their variety on Monday, and then the oysters. You can buy the oysters. They're $2 oysters on Tuesdays.
No, there's
But they do that.
different varieties
Mhm.
of them. Depends on where they were grown. It depends on if they're wild or farm raised. There's like a lot of different. It's like wine almost.
Yeah,
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Some years are better than other years. Some months are even better than other months to eat the
I
oyster.
can imagine water temperature and all that.
Yeah, all
probably
that
plays
stuff.
into. Sure, makes sense.
And I get it why people are into them.
yeah. There's a thing. There's a thing that's I think becoming popular. At least that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
The oyster shot. Have you seen this? It's actually like a shot glass where they dump the raw oyster in, and then they make a shot,
Yeah.
like a margarita shot,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
they
Yeah,
make
yeah.
different shots, and You just
I
shoot
guess
them
that's a
down.
way to get rid of them. I mean, you know what I mean? No, I'm saying like,
These things are 3 weeks old.
yeah, right.
Some
There's a-
horseradish
there's
on
a
there.
real-
Call it. Call it.
So I was
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not get rid of them. I don't know. Yeah.
I was at this
Yeah, that's
place.
funny.
I was at this place down in Bethany Beach, and I was sitting at the bar. I was just waiting I ordered out for my meal, and I was just sitting there watching them. And it's a raw oyster bar restaurant, but they were going through so many of these shots. I mean, they had one guy that was just doing that and just doing the oysters, and I mean, he couldn't have worked fast enough.
Yeah.
And he was walking super fast. He's like cracking
Was he
everything
shucking
open.
them and everything?
Oh man, yeah.
No, there's an art to that. Dude.
Yeah,
It's
Oh,
serious.
he was popping them up and like that, like that. It was crazy.
So I don't want to go too far off topic because I know you have other stuff. But when I lived in Baltimore, there was a restaurant in the Inner Harbor called Paulo's, and Paulo's was like a 4-star restaurant, and they primarily did seafood. They did a little bit of everything, but seafood and oysters and having this raw bar was kind of the center of attention there. The chef from Paulo's used to come into my bar to eat our wings because we had like one Best of Baltimore for wings. And he would come in on his day off and eat the wings from our bar. And he tried to recruit me multiple times to go to Paulo's to be one of the oyster guys. So it's a lot of money.
You had good shucking hands or something?
Yeah, well, he knew I was into the restaurant industry. I was smart, you know what I mean? Like I wasn't a dummy, and I had a good personality, so I could talk to people because at the oyster bar, you're like a bartender,
Right.
Yeah.
So there's this whole thing, and he just thought I might be good at it and might like it, and you get tips and the whole 9 yards. I went down a couple of nights to watch it. I was serious. I was thinking about doing this. Dude, those guys, it's a hustle, man. And you got to be good because bartenders are mixing drinks and opening beers. But if you're shucking oysters, you got a sharp knife
Right.
with basically a rock in your hand. And you got to talk to people while you're almost cutting your finger off.
Yeah.
I couldn't wrap my head around it. I was flattered at the opportunity. But I was like,
I
dude,
know
there's
exactly
no
what you're saying.
way.
I was staring. I couldn't stop staring at this person.
It's serious thing. Man.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So that's Tuesday nights at the Ironstone. So if you are in oysters, that's the night to go. 5 to 7 Tuesday. Wednesday, I wanted to bring this up because we might be doing something with this. Wednesday every Wednesday, they're doing a story walk in Boyertown Community Park from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. where you can just bring your child and walk through the park. And there's a story being told. You stop at like these different spots along the park and you can read a piece of the story. And then at the end, you read a whole story.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great thing to do with your family, but they just posted something.
I just saw it today.
Yeah.
They need some help posting the signs.
Yeah, because they're going to make permanent structures for the story walk,
Storyboards,
which is great. Yeah.
No, it is.
And so Matt and I are going to try. I mean, if they don't already found somebody,
If they haven't already found something, I think that it's something that you and I can, and with the help of Martin, if he decides to participate.
well, he's going to dig all the holes we heard already. So
We're
we are going to help. We are going to help them make this possible. I guess. Yeah, they needed some extra hands, and we're going to be those hands. I guess.
Right. You come from you have a construction background.
Yeah.
I used to work for the Forest Service. We used to put signs up all over the place. I know how to dig a hole.
You guys are made for this. It's
I know.
Perfect.
And
It
Martin's
fell
a
right in your
farmer.
lap. Yeah.
How many fence posts do you think Martin's
I mean,
done
that's all
over
he
his
does,
life?
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what else do
Post
farmers
guy.
do?
He's the post guy. Get him. Yeah.
That's why he's going to dig all the holes.
I think we have this perfectly covered.
Yes.
There you go.
So you're going to reach out to them
I am
because
going to reach out to them.
Well,
yeah.
why? I think it's important to say why you have such a good relationship with the library.
Oh, because I helped sell their the old library building.
Yeah, you
nice.
provided them
Yeah.
with some really professional real estate services,
I did.
right?
Yes, I
at
did.
the core of
Certainly.
it.
Yeah.
I didn't even bring that up for that either, but thanks for the plug.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Yep.
So let's call them up and see how else we can help them.
That's right. So that's what I got. I mean, that's just a few. I just stuck to some of the Boyertown items. There's so much more. Check it out. JeffKnowsBoyertown.com. And it's called What's Going Down in Boyertown is the blog.
I've had it up on the screen right there, and
All
it's
right.
super easy to find. Jeff Knows Boyertown. If you just Google Jeff at Glocker, Jeff at Boyertown, all of his stuff comes up. He's super easy to find on the web.
Thank you, Matt.
I've conducted that experiment multiple times.
Matt, so let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Are we going to do our last minute outro or whatever?
Yeah, you want to do the
And
outro
then-
now and then have Chris play us out.
Yeah, let's do that.
I would prefer to do that than this can thing that we do. Not that
I
the
already
can
promoted
thing's-
everything I'm doing, so why don't
All
you
right.
promote what you're doing?
So tomorrow night on Thursday, I have Porchcast Pottstown.
Mm.
We're on Thursdays at 6. News, updates, and conversation for Pottstown and the surrounding area.
And who are you having on?
We don't have a guest tomorrow.
So that could be really interesting because you have lots of just information. then.
Yeah, so we're gonna be heavy on the news and updates and conversation tomorrow since we
Cool.
don't have a guest. We haven't done a news and update show for a little while
But that's
because
how it
we've had
originally
guests.
started. That's the OG right there.
It was. We got really fired up during
Cool.
COVID because we were one of the only Pottstown centric things that was live. We decided to go every day, and unfortunately, with the demise of the local newspaper, what we found was that we were filling a niche, a much needed niche.
You were local news.
We were local news,
Wow.
and we were on every day for an hour. And a lot of businesses and nonprofit organizations, churches, you name it, were just feeding us information that they wanted to get out to the community. So we didn't really know what we had in our hands. We were playing with fire, and it just took off. Once everybody get back to work, we can't do the daily news show. It's just too much.
Right.
Amy runs a law firm. I'm doing real estate, so we can't do it. So we're Thursday nights at 6:00. If you want to find out what's going down in
Pottstown. That rhymes too.
Yeah.
it does.
Yeah.
Tune into Porchcast Pottstown. We're on Facebook and YouTube. You can find us on YouTube just by Googling Porchcast Pottstown. On Facebook, it's on my page, which is Matt Green at Glocker Real Estate. Much like Jeff, I have spent a lot of time making myself very easy to find on the interwebs.
Yes.
If you put in Matt Green Pottstown, Matt Green
You're finding
Boyertown,
Matt Green. You're
Real
finding
Estate,
the Matt
You'll
Green.
hear that.
The one and only.
You've optimized your own searches there. Good for you.
you'll find me if you want to, but check it out.
If I may recommend something for
Sure.
Pottstown, the guy that just reopened Downtown Records.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I
and he
saw
put
that.
a coffee shop in next to, like he got that
Yes,
block.
it's Charlotte Street Coffee Shop. I think they're calling it.
that's awesome. Like I was into the.
Is it really a record store?
It always
Absolutely.
has been.
I know.
Yeah,
Downtown has
He's
been.
got new and used that vinyl. I think he's got CDs. He's got guitars and guitar accessories and T-shirts and posters and old school.
Yeah.
And he's a cool kid. I think he's from Boyertown. I could be wrong. Young guy.
He
Yeah,
might be.
that was one of my favorite places to go
I
in
spent a lot of
Pottstown.
time and money
Downtown
there.
Records.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But
I can tell you
he's
something.
doing a good thing on that corner. It's cool.
He
That
is.
would be
It's 53 North Charlotte Street, and since we're talking about it, I'll put a link to the
awesome.
his place up in there since we've been really talking about music. The first album that I ever bought with my own money was Paul McCartney's Tug of War, and I bought it at Pottstown Records and Tapes.
Nice.
What was your first album?
It was U2 Under a Blood Red Sky,
I think mine was
which is actually a tape.
Elton John's greatest hits, maybe Alice Cooper's greatest hits. One of those two were first when I was a youngster. Yeah. Either Downtown Records or Woolworths in the North End Shopping Center or Charlotte Street there.
Yeah.
I remember getting many records there as well.
Right on.
Those were the days.
Do you have anything to promote before you play for
other
us
than
again?
tomorrow, I'm at Congo Hotel.
And then the
6 to
band?
9. Band is rocks. We're at Temple Fire Company Friday the 28th, this coming Friday, from 8:30 to 11:30. Yeah, that's all I've got going on music-wise
Cool.
for now.
All right. And you're going to play us out.
Yeah. And if you need catering, cdsplace.com. Call
There
the
you
restaurant. 610-367-6734 is the restaurant number. And yeah, let me make some food for you.
And if you just need lunch and you say please, maybe.
Or maybe I'll just take you out and buy a lunch somewhere.
Support a local
Yeah, right.
business.
Yeah, we'll go see Jimmy at Izzy's or something. Yeah, there you go. That's local, right?
Yeah,
Keep it local.
Absolutely.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll play another song.
All right, what do you got for us?
I mentioned John Prine earlier. This is one he wrote. Actually wrote from the perspective of a woman, Angel from Montgomery. That he's kind of up against it and going through some things, and it's And I guess a bunch of people have covered this, but. I'm an old woman named after my mother. My old man's another. The child's grown old. Dreams were lightning, thunder was desire. So the house would have burned down a long time ago. Make me an angel that flies from Montgomery. Make me a poster of old rodeo. Just give me one thing, Lord, that I can hold on to. Believing this living is just a hard way to go. When I was a young girl, I had me a cowboy. Weren't much to look at, just a free rambling man. But that was a long time, no matter how I tried. The years seemed to flow by like some broken down dam. Make me an angel that flies from Montgomery. Make me a poster of old rodeo. Just give me one thing, Lord, that I can hold on to believe in this living is just a hard way to go. There's flies in the kitchen, I can hear them buzzing. I ain't done nothing since I woke up today. How the hell can a person go to work in the morning, come home every evening and have nothing to say? Make me an angel that flies from Montgomery. Make me a poster of old rodeo. Just give me one thing, Lord, that I can hold on to believe in this living is just a hard way to go. To believe in this living is just a hard way to go.
All right. Thank you so much, Chris. That was beautiful.
Guys, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate you coming on. And yeah, we'll have to come out and see you
doing
live.
Town here and supporting local things.
Oh, thanks.
That's awesome. We need more of that.
Yeah.
You know,
there never could be too much. Just like you never could be too much hearts. Same thing.
Amen.
Right?
Yeah, right.
On. I'm with it.
Amen. Right.
Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Thanks for everybody that participated in the chat. That's what we need to help get the word out. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. This is the Cast at Glocker, and you'll be able to catch us next Wednesday at 6 o'clock.
Colebrookdale Railroad.
There you go. Live on Jeff Frederick, live on Glocker Realty Insurance on Facebook and YouTube. Thanks for tuning in, everybody.